So, Johnny, I wanted to tell a little story when we started this.
Yes.
So recently, I walked into a Spencer's, right? And
hmm
I was walking around because I was looking for a gift for someone. I was looking for a present, and
You were in the back of Spencer's looking for a gift for someone. Might I ask who this
I,
someone
I didn't
is?
I didn't I didn't get I didn't go to the back of the Spencer's yet.
I thought you said you went to the back of you were in the
I
back
went
of
I just went to a
Spencer's.
Spencer's. See, I
Oh,
I,
okay,
I
okay.
walked in and I looked at the T-shirts and I said, this isn't for anything that they would like. It's all like random like goth and titty shirts, you know.
hmm
And then I walked into like the wallet section. I was like, these wallets are mid. Nothing really interesting around here. And then I looked at the earrings, nothing really special. And I
Yeah.
saw the blankets near the corner of the store, and I was like, but they already have a lot
I
of
didn't know they sold
blankets.
blankets. Yeah.
And then as I turned over, I turned over to the back of the store, and staring me right in the face was this massive dildo. And so I turned around, and I've been in situations like this before, so I didn't panic.
Really?
And so I said, why the long face?
Jesus Christ. I'm just picturing the Megamind, like the cashier looking at you with that Megamind meme, like the the No Maidens one, but just looking at you with that long face, like bruh.
Why the long face? I kid you not. I was walking into Spencer's and I saw the dildo and I was like, "That's long." And then I went, "Huh? Wouldn't it be funny if I made a joke about it having a long face, like that dumb joke that everyone makes fun of?" And comedy like that is why people listen to the Side of Sauce podcast. Welcome
Indeed.
back.
Truly,
I'm
truly
welcome
indeed.
back. I'm James, your host, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host Johnny.
It is your boy.
We're back again. So, a couple things have happened in the time we've been, since we've been a little bit away. Obviously, the most important thing, the magnum opus of everyone's fucking childhood has happened. The greatest thing, the most epic movie to ever exist, the Super Mario movie had its first teaser trailer. Have you seen it?
I have indeed seen it, for better or worse.
Yeah, I saw it while I was on work, and I saw it on my 15. I saw it on like a break, and it's a lot better than I thought it was gonna be, but I don't know how I feel about that.
Exactly how I feel like. It's way better than I expected.
I was
Just
expecting like it to open up and it'd be like Mario being like, "Wait a minute, how did I get here?" And then it like,
I was expecting to be an abomination on the face of the world, and it wasn't that. Mario actually looks relatively good, but like
he looks
something about it's just a little weird
there.
still.
Yeah, there is something a little bit off about it. I don't know what it is. He looks a little weird, and I don't know because Bowser looks fine. He looks good actually. Looks like perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my god, but. And I think the little bit of we saw Luigi, I think he also suffers from the same problem. A lot of like all the human characters we've seen him kind of look
You know, like the
a little,
uncanny valley
like
look
a
or
little
whatever.
funky. But this makes me excited because I want to see Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong so bad because I know it's gonna be shit. I know that's gonna be terrible.
It will probably be something. It would be something, that's for sure.
Oh, and of course we have to talk about the most important part of this trailer: the reveal of Chris Pratt's amazing Mario voice he performed. I I'm genuinely in shock about it because I thought he was gonna do something with his voice. He said he was gonna
But
do.
it's just him.
He said he was gonna do something with it. He said he's been practicing. He's been in the lab cooking this shit up, and it just sounds like him. It's just his normal voice, but like a slightly Brooklyn accent to it.
It's a me, a Mario.
Hey,
That's the Chicago
it's
accent.
me, a Mario. But I don't know. There's also another thing that concerns me about this movie is the fact that I don't think it's gonna be good. I don't think it's gonna
It's
be
not
good at
gonna
all.
be good,
It's
I don't
not gonna
think.
be good. It's made by Illumination. It's a fucking Mario movie. The franchise that is infamously known for having like no plot. Not even infamous, just
Mhm.
famously known. And they're making a movie about it, and it's like, I'm sure this is gonna do well because it's made by Illumination and they know how to fucking market movies and like promote that shit. They marketed the fuck out of the Lorax in the back in the day. I remember that.
That doesn't mean the Lorax was good.
Yeah, and most of their movies do make like a significant profit in the box office. But I know this is gonna do well. But the thing that concerns me about this is the fact there's a lot of opinions online saying that this movie looks quote unquote amazing. And
No.
I don't I listen. People have their own opinions about whatever. I don't understand how you can think this movie, from the very little we've seen and how bad some of that very little bit has been, you've decided to say this movie is amazing. I will admit, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's more bad in the sense of, like, I just feel nothing watching this, instead of just being like, oh, this is so comedically bad, you know? That's how
Yeah,
I
I
feel about it.
agree. Honestly, like, it's not like terribly bad or anything. It's just, it's honestly, it's the same thing I always complain about Nintendo. It's not that Nintendo's a bad company or anything. They're pretty decent. It's that people overhype them and hype them up too
Yeah.
much. Like, there's, talking about this movie's gonna be too good. Like, it probably is gonna be pretty bad, honestly. Like, or maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll be decent enough. But it's not. Doesn't have to be a classic just because it means something to you. Or you like it, you know?
Yo, speaking of being like Nintendo being overrated, I don't know how I don't know how much stock you have in this opinion, but I
Oh,
think
plenty.
one of the most overrated video games in existence. Not because it's a bad game. I actually like the game, but I think it's not nearly as great as everyone says it is. Is Breath of the Wild.
Never played Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
There's a reason why, because it didn't look that amazing. I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool.
It's I get why people love it, but when you look at like if you look like it was IGN that you went on and I went on and I saw like the top 100 video games of all time, and you see games like Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim, I think even Destiny 2 is actually on there. I think, pretty sure.
It wouldn't surprise me.
And you know, and Breath of the Wild is number one, and it's like,
Really? Like, Breath of the Wild had a notoriously bad crafting system. Terrible. Like, and yet it's gonna beat games that are like. That makes no sense, you
the
know.
fact that like Breath of the Wild even beat something like Skyrim is wild to me, because like
Yeah, I agree.
they're essentially filling the same purpose, but like Skyrim does a way better job than Breath of the Wild does, because my
Yeah.
main issue with Breath of the Wild as a game is that it's fun to play for like 30 minutes, and then you realize that there's nothing to fucking do in the overworld. And that's the problem that a lot of overworld games I think fall into, is where they'll make this big, vast, open area for people to explore, but then they forgot to add things.
Fill it in.
Yeah, they didn't add anything to the place to like fill it in. That is actually that was one of the main concerns I had for Sonic Frontiers when it was announced as a open world Sonic game. But as more we've seen from it, I'm more confident in it. I'm not 100% sold on it, but there's at least. But yeah, but there's at least things to do in it.
That's good, at least. I was gonna say, speaking of big games that could be empty, have you seen anything about Starfield? Does that interest you in any way?
I have seen Starfield. I've only actually I haven't seen gameplay of it. I've only seen the cinematic trailers.
Yeah.
I'm from what I've heard of it, I am kind of excited about it, but I don't want to get my hopes up, because
Exactly.
the last time I got my hopes up for a video game like Starfield was Cyberpunk 2077 when it came out.
And the time before that was another time, and I got burned. I got hyped for Fallout 76.
Oh
man, oh.
That one stings. There's a lot of games where
does.
like I'm hyped for them and then I get let down a lot. Within the past couple of years, I can name a couple of them. It was like Sonic Forces was one of those games. Obviously, Cyberpunk 2077 was one of those games. Let me look at my catalog of games I have right here on the side. Mass Effect Andromeda was one of them. I was really excited to play that because I heard a lot of people like this franchise, and I played it, and it was fucking horseshit. It was so buggy.
Mass Effect, yeah, I've not played it. I've watched like live streams, or not live streams. I'm sorry, like let's plays or gameplay stuff of it. It's all right. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't necessarily appeal to me.
Oh, this isn't a disappointing game, but I keep forgetting to play it. I like this game so much, but I keep like not having time to play video games right now. Jedi Fallen Order. This game is fucking awesome. This game is fucking amazing. So, have you?
However, yes, I have played Jedi Fallen Order. Yes.
Have you? Yeah, have you played Jedi Fallen Order ever?
Yes.
Dude, it's fucking great.
It is a lot of fun.
And did you see the new Lego set for it? The BD1.
Yes, that is
Dude.
super sick.
I
I
went.
love that it's a good size too. It's about the size used
Mhm.
in the game, isn't it?
It's a good size. I think it actually is about it'll close. It has to be at least like close to it. I love the little figure it comes with it too. The little
Yeah, the little guy, he's so cute.
minifig size. Yeah. I've been to the Lego store recently because I wanted to go there because I wanted to get the Seinfeld Lego set. And they didn't have it,
Mhm.
but oh my god, my wallet was shivering. It was quaking in
It's like,
fear.
oh!
No!
You hit the round 5 and zombies that fetch me their souls. And you're like,
Fetch
oh
me their
shit.
souls. Because I went in there and then I saw the I saw the Sanctum Sectorium UCS,
Oh, that is a good looking
UCS
set. Yeah.
and then I saw the Wakanda Forever set. I saw the shit. What was it? The Razor Crest.
Oh, the new Razor Crest looks so good. Is
The
that out yet?
The
Really?
is the UCS Razor? I think.
Yeah, is it out yet?
I'm pretty sure.
Damn.
I thought I saw it in the store. Maybe I'm fucking stupid. But
I don't know. I didn't know when it was coming out. I looked
and then
that
I
up.
saw,
was just like,
and then I only got what was it? The Stark Gauntlet for the Infinity Saga. It was either
Oh,
that
yeah.
or I was gonna get BD1. It was one of those two. I wanted to get
Should've
both of them
gotten
so
BD1.
wrong. Oh. Some days I'm thinking about. Some days I could go back and forth on which one I should have gotten, and it's just.
I feel that.
ah.
And if you'd chosen the BD1, you would have been like, shh, I
should've
should
got
have gotten
that
the Stark one. Like, goddamn Gauntlet.
I've,
The Gauntlet's super cool.
when I immediately finish fielding the gauntlet, I have one Thanos' gauntlet. So immediately I went to go dab them up to each other.
Jesus Christ.
The whole like fist bump and then the little finger sizzles and then like the last one. That's what I did with them.
Dap me up, Captain. I
Dab me
gotcha.
up, brother. Bro, I have them both just sitting up on the top of my desk, flipping each other off, and I think it's funny because I'm like literally 5.
He's just like me for he's 5. It's like the Kai theme song. I'm just a kid who's 4.
You just a
I'm
kid.
just a kid who's 4. Each day I grow some more.
That bald
That's
bastard.
all I remember.
That-
For real, man.
that
Man
fucking-
totally was fucking faking having a male. What do you call it?
Male
Male
baldness.
pattern baldness.
Yeah.
He was faking it at
Bro,
4
that
for real.
motherfucker. That motherfucker was so annoying. Even when I was a kid, I did not like him. Every time he came on the program, I was like, not based and kind of cringe, honestly.
He's like, yeah, he's always like the worst. Like I remember my little sibling was once watching some Caillou, and I came in, and I was like, "Yo, why is Caillou acting out so much? Like this kid's really out of line. Like
Mhm.
he's a
So
jerk."
I got a proposition for you.
Oh God.
Let's say your kid can only watch 2 things at the moment, and they have to watch this because you have something important to do, and you just need them to be distracted. And your only 2 options is Caillou and Coco Melon. That's a tough decision.
It's a Caillou there.
I
The lesser evil. The lesser evil, brother.
I think you are right though. I
I was gonna say you can't deny.
think I was like trying to think of a way to like just disagree just for entertainment value, and I was like I can't even
I
like
can't even lie.
I can't lie. My mom has like friends, and they have friends with like kids, and I've walked in as like the kid was like watching that bullshit. I don't know what the fuck that it must have been like when adults first watched Teletubbies, cause like I don't even understand what the fuck is even entertaining. It's just a bunch of fucking colors and random shit happening, and the
It's
fucking
just entertaining
gross CGI baby.
The CGI is terrifying for Cocomelon, bro. War
Bro,
crimes are
holy shit.
less horrific to view.
That is like nightmare fuel right there. That's like if you took the Boss Baby and you like sent him through like
Crank
one of
that
those
up to 11. What is it? The Elden Ring boss, baby.
you would
The boss baby Dark Souls edition.
the Coco Melon babies looks like if you took the Boss Baby and you threw him in a microwave for like 30 seconds, so he only like is just
Jesus.
kind of melting, just starting to melt.
Jesus
But
Christ.
he's not fully there.
The visuals are a little distinct, brother. Goddamn.
Specifically 30, no more, no less. Just kidding.
He's just like me for real.
He's just like me for real. But yeah, fuck, what was I talking about before the fucking Coco Baby? Mario movie. Oh,
We're talking. The
the fucking Mario movie. So yeah, Mario movie. Don't think it's gonna be that great, but
I don't think it looks like the worst,
it doesn't
honestly.
look like the worst thing ever. It doesn't look great. I think it's gonna be one of those like either meh or like slightly below average movies, and it's just gonna be
Yeah.
completely forgettable. That's how I feel about it. That's what I think.
I think it's going to be kind of like the Spider movies where it comes out, people can complain about it, don't like it, and then 30 years from now, people are going to treat it like it's Space Jam, like, oh, it's a classic, which, I've never actually seen any Space Jam,
You haven't seen
either
Space
of
Jam?
them. Never.
That's why. That's probably why you're not a furry.
I mean,
Listen,
he's
everyone.
probably got a point,
Listen,
though.
everyone. I'm gonna be for real. I only know one person who like holds Space Jam 1 to like a prestigious degree. So maybe my results are skewered, but
Yes.
the everybody, the one person I know who treats Space Jam 1 like the classic movie, it has a weird thing for Lola Bunny. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little strange.
Fascinating. Interesting.
It is so bizarre that companies are like, yeah, let's make Bugs Bunny but a girl and make kids want to fuck that bunny.
I don't think that was their process. I think it was more a case of, oh, let's make
There's
the
no
person
way they didn't know.
slightly anthropomorphic. They're making the person look more human. They're not thinking, oh yeah, we want to make them look hot. They just want to make her look like an attractive lady.
I don't know.
But they just kind of mesh it to the point where you blur the line between animal and person, and
I
then
think
we
they
get
know.
that weird avatar.
I'm gonna be like Alex Jones. I'm gonna like I'm gonna like have that conspiracy theory. They're turning all the humans furries. They're turning everyone into furries.
They're turning the friggin' people into furries.
They're turning the freaking furries gay.
Turning the furries into furries.
Turning the furries
Oh,
into furries.
They can't do that.
No.
You said you wouldn't.
No. But yeah, that's just my experience with people who like Space Jam 1. That's me.
I feel like it's another one of those things that's over appreciated. And I feel like honestly, part of the liking it is the fact that knowing it isn't that great, but kind of that like the you accepting something with its flaws and its
You
ups
accept
and
it with its
downs.
flaws.
Like yeah, it's kind of cheesy, like an old classic cheesy 80s horror slasher. Like it's kind of cheesy, but like you kind of wear that on your sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe that's part of it, but even then, it just doesn't appeal to me very much, honestly.
Yeah, honestly,
So I never saw it.
it's not really a thing for me either. I saw it when I was a kid, but even then, I wasn't really into like I don't know I'm not really into the idea of taking like the Looney Tunes characters and making them into like movies because I don't know I feel like they don't really work as movies.
I think the problem, I was thinking about this the other day, I think the real problem for that is the fact that we've been so exposed to quote unquote franchises, these things that are cookie cutters set out and exist in their own static, or not static, but like their own separate little box. Like we got Star Wars, we got Marvel, now it's all owned by Disney. I think those IPs are just kind of, at least for me, like it's tainted like for a lot of the reasons I didn't like some things when I was little because they didn't really mesh perfectly in line with the other stuff I liked. So it's just easier to get.
That is true. That's a good perspective. Actually, that's a pretty unique perspective that like these Hollywood budget movies are kind of like making other films look weaker because they don't follow.
Well, I remember I always thought of Buzz Lightyear and like the toys from Toy Stories is not very interesting because I was like, oh, they weren't cool action heroes. That's literally what I thought as a kid. I didn't describe it that way, but they weren't cool is how I would have phrased it.
Yeah.
And I realized like I liked all the cool action heroes and stuff. It's the fact that like if I hadn't watched and seen all these other superhero things when I was little, I probably would have had a bigger appreciation for just things that are separate and stand on their own. I don't know if that quite makes sense, but like I think it's the fact that I wanted it to fit and mesh perfectly in. It's not this already established franchise of these cool characters. It's something else that's separate and isn't intended to be something that's like with a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie, it's always intended for kids to go be able to play and make believe their own adventures for the characters to happen. Well, that's not necessarily the case for a lot of other movies. Yeah. Especially doesn't seem to be back in the day. It was a one and done. You had the movie start, things happen, and it ends. Yeah. So I feel like that's just kind of like, I don't know, the franchise effect. That's affected at least me.
Speaking of like the first Toy Story, because I just thought about it, that movie is like, I saw it recently within like, the past couple months, and that movie is still really fucking funny. That whole bit where he's like standing with like where Woody is like standing with Buzz and like in the
he's got his arm.
Yeah, he's got like the parking lot, I think, and he's like, "You are a
Are a
toy.
toy.
It
You
still
are a
makes me
child's
fucking
plaything.
laugh.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Buzz Lightyear is
It's so fucking.
Woody is like the fucking meanest person in the world in that movie, and it's fucking funny. Like he's just an absolute
You
dick for no
are
reason.
yeah. Oh, it's like I don't know. He's like, what am I gonna? What am I gonna be today? I'll wake up and I'll choose mean.
I wake up today and I choose violence. He was on his villain arc, honestly.
That villain grind set.
On the villain grind set mindset. Speaking of funny movies and villains, I also rewatched Megamind. That movie is so fucking good. I'm still mad to this day that movie is. Well, it's actually becoming more
Okay, hear me
more of a
out.
classic.
As soon as you started talking about, yeah, you're gonna say that it's like I've been seeing all that stuff too, but like, isn't that the same effect that we were complaining about, where old things that weren't very popular, we look back at them with rose-tinted glasses, like, oh, this movie's way better than it was.
Well, yeah, there's like things like that where you look back and you're like, that wasn't really as good as it was. But I think actually, genuinely, Megamind is actually really good. I do think it's like
Okay.
actually one of
I'll
the
have to
like
give it a
genuinely good
rewatch then.
things.
Okay.
We will have to watch it, yeah, because like that movie is really fucking funny. Maybe I'm a little bit stilted, but
Well, I was gonna say, is
really
it funny or is it good? Because there's definitely I've
I
seen
think
some
it's
funny
both.
things
I
before
think
that
it's
are
really
bad.
good and really funny because there's a lot of emotion in that movie. There's a lot of good emotional core with Mega Man, not Megamind, with all his like his how do I word this bestly? His struggle to overcome his like. There's a lot of things that the movie says about like nature versus nurture, especially when it comes to like does was he always intended to be a bad person,
Be a
or
villain.
was he just you know, just kind of pushed this way because of the way he is and looks and that kind of shit.
God, I feel like this could be a slippery slope to start talking about like domestic terrorism and stuff. Like,
This could be.
well,
It does deal with a lot of heavy topics for like a children's movie, and it's actually kind of
yeah, no, I know what you mean.
It's kind of interesting and cool that it does that. I don't think a lot of
I mean,
kids
yeah,
movies
talking
do
about
that.
like heavier
nowadays.
stuff ain't bad.
Because like, there's definitely a difference in the way that like animated movies were made back then to like compared to now, and I feel like a lot of them don't
there
take as
definitely
many
is.
risks when it comes to like telling a message like that. And even back in the day, I would say like it probably is more biased because like, you know, back in my day, but it's also probably because like there's more animated movies being pushed out now because of studios being easy. Like it's just easier to do it now than it was back then, and you're just seeing a lot more garbage being like thrown on being thrown on the screen. It's probably also true that back in the day there was not as it's probably not as good as I'm making it out to be because there's probably a
Yeah,
bunch of
I
shit
do know what you mean.
movies, but I just don't remember them or I don't know them. You know. But what were you about to say?
That's true. Oh, what I was gonna say is yeah, I think also some of it probably has to do with what we perceive. I don't think it was necessary. I think the one thing is it's now easier than ever and more profitable than ever to make stuff like, you know, I'm sure that what do we call it, like not universe, but like to make franchises, to make books, stories and stuff. So it's easier and more accessible than ever. But also, I bet a lot of the fact why some of the things aren't is like deep, like especially old stuff, is because it's just not relevant. Like what we talk about, the way we talk about things changes. You know.
I think a lot of studios are also just afraid to take risks like that because, you know, a lot of them are like, it's good to have like a cult classic movie, but I'm pretty sure studios don't want that because like that's not good for business.
That's not true.
I don't know.
No, I mean, popularity is popularity. They want anything. I feel like.
Yeah.
But no, like, so for instance, I was listening to a thing or whatever, and they were talking about like the way we talk about stuff really changes, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. They like, for instance, they're talking about, you know, this is a little mature, but they were talking about back in the day when people used the term scandalous sometimes in papers.
Ooh.
It was a known term at the time. It was directly like when they were talking about this certain case, I can't remember which one it was, for a thing they were talking about, it means like assault, like sexual assault on someone. So a scandalous whatever directly meant that. So it would when we just read something scandalous, we have a different perception of what it means now, as opposed to it being much more, you know, grievous to say something scandalous.
Yeah.
Now.
Because I also think about like modern like thinking about modern animated movies. Like I can't think of many that are like this is a good movie and this is like something that like, I would want to watch again. The only movie I can really think that like, I think within the past like.
Did you not like Tangled?
Tangled was
You
okay.
didn't like Tangled? That was a good animated movie.
I thought it was maybe because I haven't seen it for like a long time, but I thought it was okay.
I'm gonna lie. I think Frozen is an amazing movie. It's the fact that it was just overplayed by everyone and their little sisters blaring it on the radio 24/7.
I was like a wee lad when that came out. I was like probably when did that come out? 2013, something like that. So I was like 10.
Something like that.
So I was like 10. So I was like the prime age to be like, that's gay.
Exactly. Well, not just that, but I also had little sisters that loved it.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time I finally sat down and watched it with them, I was like, wow, this is actually bussin'. And then the 30th time I had seen it, I was like, okay, I can't stand this anymore,
Cause like,
Which, that's just overexposure.
Cause like the only animated movie within like the past, I want to say like 7 to 5 years. Yeah, that I can like really say like this movie is something that I would want to watch over and over again. This is amazing. This is a genuinely good movie. Is Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Up? Frozen, Tangled.
Up didn't come out.
there's-
Up didn't come out within the last 7 years, did it? No.
Not the last 7 years, but it's like last. Well, I guess not last 10 years, maybe. At least. But that's still a relatively modern animated movie, I'd say.
Hold up. You keep talking. I'm gonna look this up real quick. So
Let's see.
there's also Ratatouille, but that also came out in like
Ratatouille?
2008, something like that. Up is a 2009 movie.
Technically, that's even closer.
Yeah, but dude, that's almost crazy to think about. It says 2009. Quick math. 1 + 1, that's 3. So 11 + 2, that's 13 years old.
It's an old ass movie.
That's actually kind of wild to think about. Like that movie being that old. Bad. So I accidentally exited when I went to go exit out the tab. I accidentally exit out the entire Chrome thing. So I exit out the call by
I hate when
accident.
I do that.
Whoopsie.
But I was gonna say, think about there are good animes that have come out recently.
Animes.
That's animated stuff.
Yeah, that's actually animated stuff. I'm gonna say, I'm pretty sure Goblin Slayer only came out within like the last couple of years. So I like that.
Goblin Slayer, yeah, it's a relatively recent. I think at least the anime is.
Yeah.
Let's see. God.
There's Goblin Slayer.
The new Chainsaw Man that's about to come out looks
Chainsaw
really
Man.
interesting.
I have someone who
I
like.
want to see that.
There's someone who I know who's like pestering me to watch Chainsaw Man, and I'm I don't know, I might, but I'm
It looks
thinking
pretty cool.
it looks pretty cool. I know our buddy.
It's not relatively modern, but Berserk is also excellent.
Oh yeah, I've heard Berserk is like amazing, especially because like
Yeah.
especially from anime people, like they.
No,
it is-
not actually. Not from anime perspective. The anime is mid. It's the mangas that are good.
It's from people who like recommend me shit to like watch. It's usually like Berserk, Evangelion, and for some fucking reason, not One Piece, but My Hero and Naruto.
What? I hate to say that something so broad and yet so cruel. Why do people have such bad taste? Evangelion is not an anime to get people into anime that don't like anime. You want to know why? Because a lot of people that like anime even then are iffy about it because it's totally different.
Yeah,
That's a terrible. But people use it all the time. I don't know why.
it's just it is a really popular anime, so I can. That's probably why.
It's popular and iconic because when it came out, the time it was, where it was, how it was written.
Mhm.
But it's not like something that like. It's not like objectively so good that everyone, no matter who you are, you'll like it. Because a lot of people when they watch it, it's weird. Have you seen it?
I've seen a
you were
couple
complaining about
clips.
it one time, right? Like the anime is very. I'm not trying not to tear it apart because I actually do kind of like it, but it's a very odd anime at times. It's style can be kind of funky, like the storytelling. It'll be all over the place, and it's not the easiest one to get into. I don't know why it's so. Everybody pushes it as the anime to get into anime when it's honestly more one of those. Oh, that's a.
Although
Like you gotta actually.
I have been
appreciate to like
recommended. I have been recommended One Piece, and I will not fucking watch that show. There's too many fucking episodes. Like, I don't know if you feel this way, but once I feel like there's too many episodes for me to like catch up, and it's a still ongoing show, I'm not gonna fucking watch it. You know?
Yeah, well, you gotta think of it like you can only tell so much before you start either reusing stuff to the point where there's nothing left, or
That's
you
how I
really have.
feel.
There's a couple of things here and once in a blue moon that are like, wow, this is really in-depth, interesting stuff.
I
And then
feel
a
like
lot of times, like Supernatural, it's like 18 seasons, bro.
mm-hmm. Because I
Should have
can't.
been
I feel
3.
like you can't make unless it's like unless it's like a TV show where it's like an anthology series. I feel like you can't make a consistently good story that lasts for like
Forever.
yeah, that lasts forever or even
Yeah.
I think the max you can probably put on is like in my gut instinct is like 8 seasons. Is like if you really want to
Something like
stretch it
that.
to like that.
There was the term my dad used to use. It was something about like the something 100. It was when a show hit a certain point where they had like, I think it was like 100 episodes or something like that, so they could put it back on. You could have loops like replays or whatever, but it wasn't overly exposed to the point where there was nothing left for anyone to want to
Yeah,
watch.
that's.
Oh, so I'll give you a good example. Okay, did you like the new Lightyear movie?
I honestly thought it was just kind of meh. It was
It wasn't crazy, but like it was pretty decent. It's better than most of the other Disney movies, I thought. As far as like they made a Disney movie, the company that makes the princess movies, make an action space sci-fi movie.
yeah
It was actually cool. Like I think that was a surprise. Cool,
yeah.
but Edge Runners, that's a great man, dude.
I think if you want to get someone into anime, speaking as someone who's only seen a couple animes, I think the best one to probably show someone to like get them into it is Full Metal.
Oh no, I wasn't saying Edge Runners is a good anime to get people into. I don't know if it is or not. I was just saying that's another good recent animated thing that just
Oh,
came
Edge
out and
Runners.
is bussin'.
What is it? Oh yeah, Cyberpunk. Okay.
Do you know what's it called? Do you know Gurren Lagann?
Yeah,
The
I've seen the first episode of that.
the same people that did that also animated this one, Edge Runners.
Okay. Not too sure. You know what? Actually, I just thought about this because we're talking about anime, and I know there is a Godzilla anime, but I'm surprised that there's not more Godzilla animes. There's not like at least like 3 of them. You
More
know?
kaiju anime, yeah.
Yeah, or kaiju anime, like more mainstream ones. I think because there probably is like a lot of them, but I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. I'm like
It's probably maybe it's a niche topic. I don't know, but yeah, you're right because I agree. A lot of the anime things that really interest me are the ones that are like, oh yeah, like oh yeah, like I like big robots fighting. That's cool. Mechs are cool.
I like big
I like
monster,
this and
big robot.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's pretty popular. I like things that make me feel good inside. So yeah, I can see why all the wholesome anime makes sense. But then all these obscure things, you're like, cool, but there's got to be like some really niche, like so interesting, whatever that you just like, wow. Like there's a graphic novel I found out about recently. Akira Kira, I think is what it's called. No,
Akira.
what is it? No. Hold up. And I really want to read it. It's a sci-fi graphic novel. Where is it? I know I just had a tab on it.
Well, while you're looking for that, I'll also talk about
Yeah.
like like one anime that that was it's not obscure, but like I didn't think I was gonna like it, and it's not a relatively popular one. Was the first time I watched Beastars, I did not like that show.
Oh no.
Listen, I know how you feel about that, but it's actually genuinely good. It's actually like a good show. I like it.
Is it?
Yeah, I like it. It has a lot to say about like society and like
I've
society.
heard it's not as bad as people say it is. People like
Yeah,
freak out about it.
there is like one weird scene in like each season where it's like, okay, I'm gonna skip past this. I'm not gonna watch this part because like I me personally, no controversial opinion. I don't find animals fucking attractive, but
It's just maybe it's just me here.
maybe it's just a
Maybe
me
I'm the
thing.
oddball.
Maybe I
Maybe
don't
it's a
like
me
furry
problem.
titties. Maybe I don't like my tits to be completely covered in hair, but maybe. But yeah, that show is actually really good. I really do because it has a lot to do with like just character dynamics and like how people perceive like different like tiers of society, and it has a really interesting thought process behind it. And unfortunately, this is like the one anime that has gotten me to like read the manga. So I actually do have like the manga. I
Huh.
currently have it right. I'm
The
actually
full
reading
collection?
through it. I'm falling through it right now. What up? What did you say?
Oh, I was saying, huh?
Oh.
I wasn't saying anything. Sorry, I'm still looking up. I can't find what it's called. It's on the tip of my tongue.
It's on the tip of my tongue. It's called peanut. I mean, my bad. But yeah,
No, you.
what?
On the tip of my tongue. No, you on the tip of my tongue.
On the tip of my tongue. I'm trying to think. Also, like, what other animes have I seen? Like, people have suggested things like Dragon Ball and One Piece and what was the other one with the other fucking kid? Naruto. But
Naruto.
they all just kind of, I don't know how to say this nicely and not become
They
mean.
seem.
They seem the same.
Yeah.
They all look like, I know they're not actually like the same, but like, Naruto and Goku are both people who train to become the very best, who wear orange jumpsuits, love food, and love to fight and fight for their friends. Like, like there's some similarity there. I can't. Be the
I've
only
come
one.
to think that's some of the appeal.
It
So
has
like,
to be.
I just think, I think some of the reason is like, if you're going to these, like an anime where it's overly wholesome or like where they have all these challenges or stuff, but like I don't know what the genre. I'm sure there's a name for this genre where it's kind of that. It's got stressors here and there and conflicts, but overall, it's like It's about a guy or gal or whatever in their friends on their little adventures.
Probably
I
like a
feel like
slice of life. I think that's probably what it'd be called.
no, because like I'm thinking like Naruto and stuff or Dragon Ball, where they have some badass stuff, I'm sure, but like it's not just about that. I feel like people go to it because they get invested in these again like franchises, but like they also it's nice to have something. You don't want to have to watch a movie and every second be worried that, oh my god, this guy's about to get bodied here. Like my favorite character, and when he's bodied, he's dead. Like, oh man, it's like I
Fuck.
get that. Like I feel like that's part of the appeal because I don't know, it doesn't click with me at all. Like I don't like it, so that's my best guess at least.
Speaking of like just like shows that like click you off for like killing their
Hmm.
characters, when I was like 14, I think, I watched this show because this girl I liked at the time, she told me to watch it. It was this show called The 100.
Oh no, I watched the 100. Yeah, I
Yeah,
still saw that.
I only watched I think it was like the first, it was like, I don't know if it's halfway, but it's like the first couple episodes of the first season. And like for anyone who doesn't know, it's like a show about like these teens who get sent down to Earth. They are like the first 100 people to be back on Earth after some bullshit or whatever from being away from Earth. There's no
God,
humans on there, but like there was one character. It was like the only character in that show I liked, and he was killed off. And like the
and then you're like,
first
great.
couple episodes, and I was like, I can't watch this. I don't like anybody. All these people are just assholes. Like I hope all of them die.
I found the comic. Not to interrupt. I found the comic.
What is it?
It's called Shakara.
Shakara?
Shakara.
What is Shakara? Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
So basically, it's like I haven't read it yet, but I really want to read it. The base is just of the graphic novels. It starts out showing like humanity, whatever, on Earth, and then they just die. Everyone gets extinct for whatever reason. There's this
Boom.
bad alien race, like, and like they come and invade, and they fuck shit up. Oh man, humanity's gone or whatever. And then I think it's like a time cut to later, and there's just this random alien, and all he says is like Shakara or whatever, like his name Shakara or whatever, makes this weird robotic sound that sounds like that, and then he just proceeds to annihilate the entire alien race.
Damn.
And then he just like moves on to the next alien race, and then like, who the fuck is this guy? He's insane. Like that's the intrigue. That's all I really know. And it's like, bruh. And if you look at him, he looks like he looks metal as fuck.
Hold up.
Imagine if
hold
you
up.
gave Venom like armor,
How do you
but
spell
like
Shakara?
aliens. Shakara.
A-R-A. Shakara. Dun, dun.
Imagine if you gave like the xenomorph aliens like
Oh yeah,
technology.
I see it. He does look pretty sick.
And it's kind of like one of those things like Doom where it's supposed to be like really edgy and like graphic or cool and whatever, but like it just looks super sick. I don't think it's a recent one, but it's one I've been interested
I don't
in
know
getting to.
why. I think it's the red eyes followed by like a dark face, but I don't know why. The first thing I thought when I saw him was Mothman,
He does kind of look like Mothman. You're not wrong.
like a metallic
One of
Mothman.
I think one of the races in the thing I think are dinosaurs or something like that, like with modern technology. and they're like overly stupid. I think if I can't remember, there's some joke about it, but it's like one of the actual races he has to annihilate, or it has to annihilate, or whatever, is like dinosaurs with like technology.
That makes me think about how like recently I've been watching a lot of iceberg videos,
Hmm.
and like one of the ones I
Those
was
are always
watching
fun.
was like a paleontology iceberg theory. And I was caught off guard when like the second tier is there and he starts talking about how like this reconstruction of like how dinosaurs would evolve into like intelligent
Hmm.
species. And I don't know why seeing like a lizard as a person looks fucking gross.
It is terrifying.
It is gross. And
Those
then it made me
human
think about
dinosaur things.
the image of like if a human being were to survive a car accident. If a human being was evolved to survive a car accident.
And Kylosaurus motherfuckers be like, Parasaurolophus
Now
be
tell
like,
me, you haven't seen a person who would look like that, who looked like the person who was evolved to survive a car accident.
like, oh God, that's terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
always like when you see someone and they just look like an NPC standing there, or like walking or
there.
interacting. You're
That
just
is a
like,
true thing.
they just like, it just, or like they feel like a. This is what I always said is like, it's the worst way to phrase, but you look like someone that looks like a poorly rendered JPEG or not three-dimensional model. That's what they just look like a poorly rendered model, just like they look weird or something.
Bro, I would go, bro. It's fucked, but I would totally. I think it'd be funny to like go on a date with someone, no matter who you are, go on a date, and like the other person is like, if they're not your thing, just abruptly get up and say you need to update your graphics card. Your fucking textures are ugly, and just
Their
leave.
textures are off.
Your textures are gross. They're not loading in, and just leave and have them fucking
What I
bewildered.
used to do in my digital media classes when we did 3D modeling, my favorite thing to do was, so the way 3D modeling is, imagine if you have an action figure in your hand and each one of his joints, it's got a little thing there, a little ball socket type thing beside it,
He's got
and you
balls.
can, it shows the position it's on. It's like a sphere, so you know it's got like a marking. You can show how you're moving it, when you're moving it, to animate it to do whatever. And
Hmm.
I used to love to just grab those and shift them over. So you make his legs, like his hips, like just you just drop them, or you just destroy this man's facial structure, make him look like an absolute monstrosity, and then you have it animated. It's like say something, and it's just like terrifying.
I
It's so funny.
one of my favorite genres of videos is just like people acting like NPCs out in public and just being fucking. It's just so funny, like there's like I don't know if it's just like this TikTok trend or something, but there's just I've seen a bunch of videos of like kids who like leave the bus and then they'll wave like an NPC and then they'll like yell. And
Yeah, they're just
it cracks
glitching
me
out.
up
They're like,
every
oh,
time. Sometimes I feel like an NPC because I keep fucking laughing at those stupid fucking blue lobster memes we send to each other.
I love those. Are they funny? No. Is that what makes them funny? Yes.
It's so like I expect it now. Like I'm expecting it at the end of like some videos now, and it just doesn't pop up, and it feels like being blue balled for a lack of a better
It's
term.
disappointment. Yeah, you've been blue lobstered.
I, the
You didn't get
irony
your little
sense.
dose of dopamine.
And every time I see him, like, yes, the
He's
blue
resurrected.
lobster, he has risen. Our
What
Lord and
was it? We were
Savior.
talking about something, and I was going to mention something. You were talking about. Oh, what
Shit.
was it? What were we just talking about before the
We
memes?
we were talking about oh fuck Shakira, not Shakira, uh, that graphic novel you were
Shakar
Shakar,
or whatever. Oh, Shakar. Yeah,
Oh my god, I like swallowed the wrong way and I'm like fucking
I'm
dying
trying to
over
think what I
here.
was gonna say. Oh, there's another one I read recently. It was pretty decent. It was 20th Century Boys, and that was a pretty good. It kind of had to. It's a weird one to describe, but it kind of is like I don't know. It's like it's a political slash cult involved there, and like apocalyptic time jumps. It's really weird to describe, but it's a pretty interesting one.
Okay, okay.
It's like it opens up and like you're in the middle of this like really stressful situation, and then it's like pause. Let's back up a little bit. Then let's back up a little bit. And then it's like okay, and it's doing these events, and it shows it gets it's weird. It's not like time travel, but it's like the perspective it's showing. And it's like crazy.
Hmm.
You know, in a movie where like it'll open up and it'll be like, you know, say for instance, like for the dinosaur movie, it'll show something that's like it'll show like the meteor coming down to hit Earth or whatever. In normal movies, that's where you'd expect the end, but that's actually the beginning of this movie instead. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
about after the dinosaurs, whatever. It's kind of like that where they have like this apocalyptic cityscape getting destroyed or whatever, and they're like, "Oh God, this is it," and then it's like, "Oh no, let's skip 15 years into the future." This is nothing compared to what's coming up, and it's like what it's like setting the bar high, and then it plays it off pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Oh, you know what? You know what I'm thinking about now too? I think we should do our
What?
new segment. Our fucked animal facts.
Animals.
Yeah, our fucked animal
Animal
facts.
effects.
So let's roll our. I have digital dice today, so there's no little dice sound effect, unfortunately. So
Damn, he's not very cool anymore.
we got 14. What is 14? Oh my god, fuck. So Johnny, did you know
Yes.
petting your pet bird, could potentially, most likely, turn them on?
That sounds terrible, but also kind of
Kind of what?
terrifying.
What?
I was
I was scared about the words that were about to come after that.
No, I was gonna say it kind of makes sense. Like like it feels good. The bird would be excited about it, but then I was
That
like,
is
well,
that
why
is
would it
true.
get that excited? So no, it doesn't because like it wouldn't get that hyped.
That makes reading that fact now kind of makes me think about how maybe I'm a bird secretly, because like
Maybe when you
because,
pet your
like-
dog, your dog's like, hell yeah, bro.
bro,
thank you."
honestly, I don't know if it's like a universal animal or male, at least male animal thing. Maybe it's a female thing too, but
God.
in high school, I let women touch my hair because like I like the feeling, the sensation of like people touching my hair and head and
Mhm.
like scratching it.
Okay.
I have no idea why. I'm like a fucking dog over
You know
here.
that makes sense.
Yeah, but like
Well,
I like it.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say something totally weirder, bro.
No.
Like I let my dog lick my toes or something weird shit. Like whoa.
Have you seen that Meat Canyon video of King of the Hill? The one where he's like, "Now, why would you let old Sweetie over here lick your balls in peanut butter? You don't want people thinking you're weird, do you?" I don't know, Dad.
I love the assumption there. Ah, yes. You're not weird. You just don't want people.
You don't want people to
You're
think
normal.
you're
You don't want
weird,
people to
are you?
Think you're weird.
I
God,
love how that's some people's
brain.
justification for not doing things is like, I don't want people to think I'm weird, you know? It's like you're already a fucking weirdo by default. I think everyone's a little weird, like on a spectrum.
I was gonna say. I think we'd be surprised at how weird some people are.
Like I know I'm a fucking character, you know? But like, and I just kind of accept that, you know? I have my own little quirks, you know? I like to be scratched in the back of the head.
Quirky.
It's a
He built different.
I'm honestly just not like other girls, you know? But like everyone's a little weird. But I do think there's a degree of weird that I will allow, you know? Oh my god, I'm like it's like this burp that's trying to come out and it doesn't want to fucking come out. But yeah. That's like a thing. So you know what else? I think we should
What?
yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about, I was like, I fucking zoned out. Like I went fucking.
Oh, okay. I
literally gandered into like the deep space and I saw everything for like a moment. But like, speaking of animals, I wanted to talk about the fact that one of the most overhated animals I think in the world is rats.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I was
watching
watching a video recently, and it was like, did you know? I forget what country it is, but there's like a specific country where like you can call the police and report that you saw a rat, and they will like come and violently exterminate every single rat they see, and they're like one of the only countries in the world that like don't have rats at all because they've just been slaughtering them. And it's like
Jesus Christ.
and it's like,
why?
Why? Because like they're just little dudes. Like they're just give them a little cheese.
Just give him a little chance, my guy. Like, man's trying to survive.
Like he's just a little chef, my guy. Like he's just a little dude.
Oh, no,
That's what I'm saying. And
He's
like,
just a little
I don't know. I think it's weird how much people hate them because they're actually really
I
intelligent.
get they're like, Yeah, like I get like they can be gross and live in gross conditions, but they're not necessarily gross themselves. It's kind of like pigs. Pigs aren't these nasty animals necessarily. They just happen to live because they will survive in these conditions, so people are able to put them there. And
Yeah.
in some climates where it's hot and humid, it's great to lay in the mud to cool off.
Like, haven't you?
So
Did
like
you read that article where it was like talking about how rats, how like scientists made little cars for rats, and like how rats just love to drive the little cars even if there's no reward or
that's
benefit of
so
it?
that's so cute. No, I haven't
That
read
is
that.
so fucking cute. That's so adorable. I love that. I love that like the government funded. I don't know if the government funded, but like somebody funded that research,
Man,
and that was
dedicated
that
to
is
your
a
little
science.
rat
Like
cars.
I would love to be on that science team. That is like what my dedication in life would be.
The dream team.
I like I don't know. Like that's so cute and wholesome. And like rats are just like I, I think for you know what? Here's my conspiracy theory. I think if rats had fuzzy little feet like bunnies, I think a lot more people would love them. I think it's the fact that they don't have like hair on their feet and they have like weird little gremlin hands. I think that's what's throwing a lot of people off.
I think it's also the fact that rats they can be vicious, like most animals, but they're willing to, you know, nip the shit out of you, bite you. They are willing to go and stoop low,
Because like
unlike,
a
quote
rat
unquote,
isn't
some animals aren't.
too far off from like a hamster.
They're really not. No,
And
you're right.
people love hamsters.
I have several pet
Exactly.
hamsters actually, yeah.
And
But like I think it's the fact that they will. So like a lot of times you'll have them eating your scraps and you're making a mess of your property and stuff. So I think it's the fact that they get associated with their bad actions. When kind of like the people always thought complain that you never get remembered for the good things you do, only the bad things you do.
yeah,
It's kind of the same thing.
what's that saying? Like 100 pats on the back. I mean, 100 pats in the front is equal to like one stab in the back. Something like that.
Yeah,
Something like that. I
I've never
remember
heard
hearing
that,
it once.
honestly.
I've heard
Like I
it
said,
one
yeah,
time.
no, I've never heard that.
I heard
That's
it
a
one.
good phrase, but I've never heard that.
I heard it one time in my life, and I've like never used it since until now.
Yeah,
So thank you to
you've
whoever.
been saving like for a rainy day. You're like, thank God.
Like that one rainy day, we were all just locked inside, and you're like, I gotta make conversation with the people I live with somehow. You know, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
And why converse when you can just go play Destiny 2?
you're right. I can just be on the grind set all day. Who needs a job? Who needs friends? Who needs living? I can just play Destiny 2.
For real. That is all you
I'm
truly
on
need
the
to be
grind.
happy. Like when you're grinding out a game and you're crying from, pure pain, you're enjoying yourself. Like you might not really be enjoying yourself, but you might as well be, right?
How far are you on the grind for Destiny 2?
I am very far in, dude. I'm about to hit 2,000 hours.
Ooh.
And that's on PC. That's not including on console.
I,
Because remember, it does have cross save.
I think I've only like if I wish I don't know if there's a way to check on my DS. Like I'm pretty sure I've played like at bare minimum like 3,000 hours of like Pokemon on my fucking DS. But I do know for a fact because I checked my Wii U
I
like
believe it.
last time I opened it. I played Smash 4 like 3,000 hours. Like something
God damn.
ridiculous. And I'm still not even like a fucking good at that game, but
Yeah, I've grinded like 18 years worth of my life into it. I'm just not good still. It doesn't matter.
I love that mentality of like, you play this game almost every day, every consecutive possible moment, but you're still not good at it. I love those people. I'm one of them.
I was gonna say I could relate to that. And there were some times where like I used to be cracked. Like, I was cracked as hell at Titanfall 2.
Oh yeah, there
My
was.
God.
I don't know if it's just a
But,
me
like-
thing, but I think the older I get, and I think the worse I am at video games.
Your hand-eye coordination gets worse, and on top of that, you also have to remember that you don't have the time and dedication. This is definitely not your priority anymore.
Like,
At least for a lot of people, it's
I'm
not.
afraid to play Overwatch 2 because I know I'm not as good as I was back when I was like 14 and I had no job. I didn't have a girlfriend and I didn't have anything to could distract me. I
Yeah,
could
exactly.
just
It's like,
play
it was
every.
your goal.
Yeah, it was my goal just to become the best fucking Junkrat in the world. Oh my.
I do understand that.
Speaking of Junkrat,
It's
I'm
like,
so
God,
disappointed with his design in Overwatch 2.
Didn't they make another like Junkrat 2, like his like kid or something, or daughter or girlfriend or something? I don't know.
There's a.
Family member.
I don't think there's a
It's
family
like a
member.
she Junkrat.
I don't think so. She Junkrat. Whoa,
Yeah, I thought
whoa,
there
whoa!
was.
I think there's a lot of she Junkrat online, but ooh,
I thought they made a weird ass character for some shit like that. I was like,
I know
why?
they took that place he lives in, Junkertown. They made like the Queen
Yeah.
a character.
That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but like I saw Junkrat in Junkrat 2, and I hate that they try to make him hot.
Oh
They try to
god.
make him
Like my guy.
fuckable, and I'm like, he was already fuckable before.
Let me pull this up. Hold up.
Yeah, look at like Junkrat Design 1 to like Junkrat Design 2. Like it's like I hate. Oh, hold up, let me pull it up so I can like make specific comparisons, because I envision it in my head, but I don't have like a clear image as I do with like the first one. But like I'm thinking now, I can remember like I remember there's like a lot of dust and grime on his face, and then like it's not in the second one. He's like crisp and clean. Even his hair, it doesn't have like the little smoky effects. I just
You want him to be submissive and breathable.
That's what I'm saying. I want him to be like a fucking wild goose rat, and I don't want him to be fucking. Oh, I'm here to pay my 9 to 5. You know, like let me look.
Man's trying to be seduced by the Junkrat. That's what you are, man.
Exactly.
You're just like, I want him to grab me by the shoulders and take me in his arms and kiss me gently on the cheek. Oh.
Like I hate that his shoe is like more. Like it isn't like some dirty boot he pulled out of the fucking garbage can. You know, I hate that.
God forbid.
The
He does look different. I'll give you that. He looks a little different.
yeah. It's just like a bunch of small changes that like add up over time. Like I like that his shorts were like cut up and like baggy. Well, there's patches on them, but like, yeah, like it's not the same. It doesn't look as dirty. I love
No,
how
it
dirty
really
and
isn't.
grimy he used to look. You know.
I gotta be honest. I can understand that.
Yeah.
It's really not the same.
I also would have thought it would have been funny if in the second game he would have given him like another mechanical limb because he also like blew up his other fucking arm or some shit.
He's like, I had a mechanical leg. Now I got mechanical legs. He's got 2 of them. Just
You will
runs
not
around really
believe
slow.
what this landmine cost me.
Jesus.
An arm and a
Look up-
leg.
Look at the damage, guys.
Whoa.
I'm missing half my body.
I used to remember hitting those fucking gnarly ass clips. I still have. I think it's
Oh
private,
god, with
but
the jumping around.
yeah, jumping
Oh.
around. My favorite one was still when I was like on the point and I was like taunt. I was doing like the laying down taunt, and then like the enemy team like runs up to me, and then I instantly like pop my ultimate, and I fucking murked.
What was
all of them.
Junkrat's ultimate? I can't remember what
He's
it was.
the rip tire where he takes the tire on the back of him and he
Oh
fucking-
yeah, I
yeah.
do remember that.
yeah, and I loved it so much. It was so cool because you literally just send it in and it fucking decimates everything within like a 50 miles.
It was good. I know Diva was like broken good, but Diva was always my favorite because I like mech, big
Yeah.
robot power armor.
Mhm.
How can you say no to power armor with 2 miniguns, like 1 in each fist? Like that's just badass.
And a gamer girl. Woo! Gamer girl. I'm just kidding.
That is true. Yeah, she was a streamer. You know, you got the streamer girl.
Streamer gamer.
Is the main character. The streamer gamer girl.
I
Yeah.
love that it's a trope now. It's just gamer girl character. You know. Like, there's that gamer girl, and then there's also gamer girl now in Pokemon, that's how I feel about it. Oh, actually, I'm looking at the time, and I think we could call it a wraps here.
All right, bro. So, yeah, it was good talking with you. Same time next week. Your mom's house.
Of course, same time. You know, you can come here. I got little candles here decorated for us again when you get back here. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go anywhere else when you're tied up to the chair leg.
Exactly. Give me a call when you make it home, boo boo.
All right, bro.
But yeah, guys, if you like this, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit.
All that
We'll
good
see
stuff.
You guys next time. Bye.